the CEOs of DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran, has finally announced their first chapter, the first slate for DC Universe. This first chapter is going to be titled Gods and Monsters. A portion of it will unfold between 2025 to 2027. 5 movies and some TV series. There are some rules for this new universe. Anyone cast on the DC TV side as a character will also respectively play that character on the film side. Also, no one actor will play 2 parts. Meaning, Jason Momoa is definitely going to be Aquaman going forward, probably not Lobo. Ezra Miller is going to be continuing as the Flash, Gal Gadot is still going to be Wonder Woman, and Zachary Levi is still going to be Shazam. And that the upcoming Blue Beetle on August 18th has its own world, but it fits in directly into their DCU. And that projects like Joker Folie Deux and Matt Reeves' Batman sequel, also HBO Max Penguin series, are going to be labeled clearly as DC Elseworlds. Right now, the moment we've been waiting for, Gods and Monsters, let's get with the TV series. The first one is Creature Commandos. It's going to be an animated TV series. Gunn has written this, it's done. Creature Commandos is comprised of military superhumans, including a human leader, a werewolf, a vampire, Frankenstein's monster, and a Gorgon. Gunn pointed out that Weasel from his Suicide Squad will be on the show. The next one is Waller, HBO Max live-action series, the spin-off of Peacemaker. We're using the same actors. This is a continuation of Peacemaker. James Gunn is currently working on Superman, so he can't do Peacemaker Season 2 yet. So in between, they're working on Waller for now. Lanterns is going to be an HBO Max live-action series. Peter Safran says, our vision for this is True Detective. It's terrestrial based. It's got 2 of our favorite Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. It really plays a big role in the main story that we're telling across our film and television. This is a very important show for us. He also specified that this version is different from the one that Greg Berlanti was working on. Paradise Lost. This is going to be an HBO Max live-action series. It's going to be a Games of Thrones-ish story about Themyscira, the home of the Amazons and the birthplace of Wonder Woman. This drama is really about the political intrigue behind the society of all women. How did that come about? Peter Safran says, what's the beautiful truths and the ugly truths behind all that, and what's the scheming like between all the power players in that society, adds Gunn. The series will take place before the birth of Diana, aka Wonder Woman. Next is Booster Gold, HBO Max TV series about a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to today and pretend to be a superhero. James Gunn describes it as an imposter syndrome as a superhero. Now let's get to the movies. There's going to be a Swamp Thing feature which will investigate the dark origins of the creature. This is definitely totally darker than the Superman and Batman movies. But the belief here is that Swamp Thing will definitely interact with the mainstream DC characters later. Now this is a big one because I am a huge Superman fan. Superman Legacy. This is really the start of the DCEU, says Safran. The project was already announced by the duo Gunn writing, no director attached, but Safran was elbowing Gunn yesterday that he'd really like him to helm. The release date is July 11th of 2025. It's not an origin story. It focuses on Superman's balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He's the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He's kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old-fashioned. So I guess we're going to expect a little bit more of that Christopher Reeve type of Superman in this new DC universe. The next movie is The Authority. There's great Wildstorm characters that were popular for a long time and we're incorporating them into the DCU, says Gunn. He loves the property because it's a mix of anti-heroes who take matters into their own hands despite what government advise. A basic story is being written out. The Authority was created after Stormwatch, a planetary defense force against aliens, was destroyed. The former member of that group, Jenny Sparks, created the Authority with her Stormwatch black teammates Swift and Jack Hawksmoor. Next film is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, feature based on Tom King's comic book series from 2022. In our series, we see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, who was raised on a rock, a chip off Krypton, and watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then came to Earth when she was a young girl. She's much more hardcore. She's not exactly the Supergirl we're used to seeing. And finally, one of the biggest movie reveals, The Brave and the Bold. This will be Gunn and Safran's version of the DCEU Batman, outside of Matt Reeves' universe. The movie will feature Batman and his son Damian Wayne as Robin, who is an assassin, a murderer who Batman takes on, who is Batman's actual son that he doesn't know exists for the first 8 to 10 years of his life. It's a strange father and son story about the two of them, and based on Grant Morrison's run of the Batman. Gunn and Safran will be seeking a new actor to play the Dark Knight. Alright, that is it for the first chapter of this new DC universe. That will be potentially starting in July 11th of 2025, starting with Superman Legacy. What did you think about this first slate? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.